make their returns next year?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that I still have a lot left to work on, a lot I can improve on, and I just couldn't pass up another opportunity to come back here and play with these guys again.
Was there any doubt? I mean, did you seriously consider NFL for a while, or was there always kind of an assurance that you were going to be back for one more year?
I mean, I considered it for sure, but with this D-line room that we have and these coaches and stuff, I wanted to kind of squeeze the last bit out of my career here before moving on.
Who'd you tell first? Coach Bell, Coach Ferentz?
I told Coach Ferentz first because he initially was the one that kind of asked me what my thoughts were on that and stuff, so I let him know, and I let the D-line coaches know after that.
How does he approach that? Like, does he say, hey, we'd love to have you back, or does he say, do whatever you want, or really,
Yeah, he was kind of like,
how does it work?
No, he was like, we'd love to have you back. Obviously, the decision was up to me and my family and my fiance, but we decided that'd be best, and I let him know after that.
Did you consult, like, I don't know, Castro, like Higgins, those guys that came back for that extra year, they didn't have to? And like,
Yeah, I talked to those guys. I talked to Quinn Schulte.
Oh, yeah.
Talked to Joe Evans as well, and Joe especially said like he had no regrets coming back. He's super glad that he did it, so that definitely helped my decision too.
Kirk talked about, when I asked him about you, he said that your story and your kind of leadership style is kind of like Joe Evans, and now they mentioned you talked to him. I guess so. What's it sort of mean to you? Because I know how valuable Joe Evans' leadership was for that unit, especially early on in the year during his final year.
That means a lot. Joe coming in was a guy that I looked up to a lot, so to hear that comparison was made is super cool. He kind of took me under his wing, like even from when I was in high school visiting here. He was kind of one of the guys that showed me the ropes and showed me how it's done, so that's super cool.
So what do you, next season, what do you want to accomplish individually? What do you feel maybe you need to work on to be the player you want to be?
I'd like to work on my get off, my just explosiveness in general, as well as my bend. And another thing I like to work on is just my verbal leadership. I feel like I try to do a good job of leading by example, but if I can be more vocal with these guys, that would definitely help.
Obviously, you guys lose YA and Deontay, but just what are your thoughts on the D-line group as a whole going into next season?
Yeah, those will be some big losses, big shoes to fill. But I think we got some guys, some younger guys that are on the ascent. Guys like Llewellyn, guys like B.A., Jeremiah Pittman as well. Those guys have shown some really good potential and promise, so I'm excited to see what they can do.
What does this few weeks kind of look like? Obviously, you're balancing a few different things. What does it look like as you prepare for Missouri and like try to lock in when there's so much other stuff happening?
It is kind of a weird time, just because you have so much free time after practice and stuff. Like I finished my last final yesterday, my only final, so now it's just kind of waiting around and getting some film in, but also some relaxation time, and then coming back and getting back into the work.
The question isn't really who's leading, because we kind of know the seniors, but like what is being said amongst the leaders to kind of keep the guys locked in, and I can't think of a better term than like senioritis to avoid that.
Yeah, I don't think we struggle with that too much. I mean, these seniors are still very much locked in. We still have another game, and we treat it as such. Like, we're not looking past that yet. We're front sight focusing, as they say. So we're looking forward to playing this game.
Or you mentioned like Brian and Max, but are there even some of like the freshmen or even guys younger than them on the D-line that has stood out to you?
Yeah, I think Joe has stood out, Shima as well, and Drew. As far as edge guys go, this is a group with a lot of athleticism and arm length especially, so I think once they get in the weight room, start kind of developing more with their bodies, they'll be definitely a force to be reckoned with. Yeah.
Ethan, you've got two teammates going up on that consensus All-America wall. 6 years in a row the Hawkeyes have put a consensus All-American on the field. I mean, how does this team continue to put out high-level players, week in and year out?